Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Kaylina, and I am the Hex Witch. And today's video is going to be about a review about Lightlark that I just finished. But we're just going to take a moment here because there is a thunderstorm going on right now. Hopefully you can hear it in the background, but it is glorious, glorious. I absolutely love thunderstorms, and this month or at least this week in the Moonology Diary, it is focusing on Cancer, and that is a water sign. So it said to incorporate water into your life. And so, being the crazy pants that I am, I decided, wouldn't it be fun to go stand out in the rain? 50-degree weather, it's not that bad, right? It was actually very refreshing. I don't know if you can see it, but my hair is wet, very wet, and but it was really nice. And so if you are into working with the elements, right now is a good time to work with water. So if you have a rainstorm, feel free to go step out and enjoy it and just allow Mother Nature to wash over you. My husband, he's got his man cave in the garage, and he just kind of opened the garage door and was just staring at me like I don't even ask questions anymore. I was not this much of a weirdo when he first met me, so he's definitely learning to embrace the witchy, spiritual, elemental side of me. So, but for the Lightlark review, I'm going to go back inside and I will review the book in there. But I'm going to sit out here for a little bit and just enjoy the rainstorm because I love them, and Mother Nature has blessed me with a couple warmer days in the middle of January. So I'm taking full advantage of them. So I will see you soon. Alright, we're going to talk about Lightlark, and I do not have enough good things to say about this book. Like, it is really just that good, guys. My sister got me this book for Christmas, and this is the cover. And first of all, the cover is just really pretty. You've got this like heart with flowers on it, which makes so much sense when you read the book, as well as this pretty gold foiling on this part of the cover and on the side with this little crown. And so not only is it beautifully designed, and I just love the gold and black, but this author, she is a talent. She really is. And I've already found out that there's going to be a movie that they're going to make on this book, as well as they should, because I think it would make a fantastic movie. I'm just praying to the universe that they do not mess it up, because I've read so many books that they've adapted into movies, and really the only one that I can really say that I enjoyed and did not come out of the theater frustrated with was the whole Harry Potter series. And I know some Harry Potter fans would be like, but they didn't include certain parts of the book. Okay, have you seen how long those books are? Unfortunately, that's part of an issue with movie or book to movie adaptations, is because they don't have the time to put everything in. So they do have to be somewhat selective, and I totally understand that. But so help me, if they make characters not look the way they should, or they don't follow the plot line, especially if they don't follow the plot line, we're going to have issues. So, because I think sometimes producers, they want to make it their own, which I completely understand, but you've agreed ahead of time to take the author's rendition and turn it into a movie. And if you want that movie to be successful and to have fans galore bestow upon you tons and tons of money, do the movie right. Please do the movie right. And obviously I have every intention of going to the movie when it comes out. I'm excited to hear that Alex herself is going to be one of the producers, or she's definitely going to be have her hand in the movie, so I have much more faith that it's going to turn out well and is done well done. Um, Kind of like J.K. Rowling. She had a lot of say in her movies, which thank goodness, because they turned out really well, I feel like, for the most part. I mean, you can't get everything in there, like I said before. But anyway, let's get back on track for the book. So this book is like a fantasy book, and it's about these different realms. I think there's five of them, and each realm has a ruler, and every realm has a power. So, like, you have your moonlings, which they control the moon and healing powers and kind of energy around that. I also, they have like snow type abilities and like ice abilities. Then you have your sunlings, which they can control fire. Then you have your skylings, and they can fly, and they also have like wind power. And then you have your nightshades, which they can control the darkness, kind of more destruction. You have your starlings, who can do like starlight and like cosmic energy, kind of, I guess you could say. And then you have your wildlings, sorry, which is what our main character Isla is. And they are exactly what wildlings are. They are kind of almost like the elemental in a way. They can control nature, and they are very the free and nature people. And the wildlings are kind of, well, really, the wildlings and the nightshades are kind of the outcasts compared with the rest of the group. So they are, you find out in the story that all these rulers come together once every 100 years for 100 days to play this deadly game called the Centennial. And they're trying to break this curse that has been put on their land for tons of years. Just, it's been going on for a long time, and their powers are slowly slipping away, and their kingdom is slowly falling apart along with their isles, because each isle, when these curses were placed, each isle got a curse. And the curses were set in place to weaken the realm, weaken the rulers, so that their magic would be kind of taken from them. So I'm not going to tell you what each curse is right now, because you're going to have to read the book and find out. But I love how she spins everything together. Like, you're rooting for Isla the whole time. She's a very strong character. And I love the fact that she's so, I don't know, she's got like this very, to me, warrior feminine vibe. Um, and I love it, because she has a secret that I'm not going to tell either, even though you do find out fairly quickly into the book about her secret. But um, she's at a disadvantage, let's say, compared to some of the other rulers, but yet she still has all this training and stuff and fighting and stuff, so she's not weak. She very much has this power in her that she doesn't even realize. And I mean that in more ways than one. But she's just, you really do root for her. You can tell she has her land's best meaning of heart, but at the same time, you can tell she wants so much more out of what life has given her. And so she's kind of on this quest, not only to save her kingdom, but as well as maybe finding herself and finding what she wants in life. And so it's this really awesome story. And I love the characters. I really do. They're each so unique, and partially because they each wield different powers. But they've all got their own motives too. So like this book, once you think you've got it figured out, and then major plot twist, and she does that throughout. So you just want to keep reading, because once you think you know something, you don't actually know it. And it's just continuous through the whole book. It really is a page turner. Like it's a definition of a page turner. You just want to keep knowing what is going to happen next, and it's never dull. Like there's not a dull moment in this book. But it's not to say that she just crams action into every single place she can. She doesn't. She has the perfect balance of monologue and action and, things going on. So she does that extremely, extremely well. Um, like I said, great diverse characters. The plot line is fantastic. So many twists and turns. Um, However, I did guess kind of the big secret, but that's just because I I definitely use the term writing loosely. I loosely enjoy creative writing, so I could 100% see why she went the route she did. Like it was very unexpected, but the unexpected is what I expected, just because it's exactly what I would have done if I had written. I could never probably write this kind of just geniusness. I really am praising it this much because I feel like it deserves it. She did a really good job, and I know there's going to be a second book, or at least there better be a second book, Alex, because I'm a fan. You've got me hooked, and I need to know. I need to know what's going to happen to these characters. There is a love triangle in here, but it's done so well. Like, it is done so well because the two guys that the one relationship is very much, she grows into it. Like, it's not there at first, but it's not like this like in your face way, but it's very much two different people. They don't see eye to eye. One is very jaded, one is still kind of naive to the world, but then throughout this journey, they really find that they do honor, appreciate, and love each other. So, and then the other one, which I can't say too much because it'll give it away, but it's this whole other aspect. So you have the one side that's more gentle, kind of very subtle, and then you have this other one that's this very more passionate, kind of definite flame that you notice, and it's almost like it almost comes like naturally. I'm going to use the word naturally to Isla, and her curse that they are cursed with kind of makes love a little bit complicated. So she's never been really allowed to explore those feelings a whole lot, and so to all of a sudden have realized that she's feeling these things, she thinks she's really only feeling it for the one person, but then to find out that she's kind of developed feelings for this other person, it just makes for a very interesting storyline, because it's not like some love triangles where it's just like you really have one or the other that you're kind of rooting for. I mean, some people may feel that way, but I at this point don't. And maybe I should, maybe, but I feel like in the second book, well, she's already mentioned that there's going to be a lot more of these two men, and then Isla, of course. But oh, I'm so interested to see where it goes, because at this point in time, I'm not drawn to one or the other per se. I feel like as time goes on, I probably will, but I'm wondering how Isla is going to pick, because I know this is just going to get very complicated, because this book just is. It's complicated in the best way. Like, it's just, oh, there's so much going on, and so much dynamic, and so many secrets, and betrayal, and lies, and fighting, and creatures, and it's such a good book. I thoroughly enjoy it. It says that she has another YA fantasy book out called the Emblem Island series, so I am possibly going to check that out. I think this one is supposed to be more of an adult book, but I'm not, I mean, young adults could read it and would absolutely love it, especially since, you know, the movie is coming out. I also heard that the producers or that are doing the movie are also the ones who did Twilight. So that for some people might be a bad thing. For some people, you might be thrilled. Um, Obviously, I do not compare this book to Twilight. I don't, because Twilight fans are gonna hate me, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get through Twilight, and it's partially because probably the books were just massive, and my attention span is not so much so. I mean, it was for Harry Potter, but it wasn't for Twilight. And for some reason, I can't totally get on the vampire, like, werewolf bandwagon. I'm not there yet. If you can give me a book that is the perfect combination of like vampires and werewolves, or just vampires, I would give it a go. But I just feel like somewhere along the line, the love stuff is just too much for me. This was not. This was like the perfect amount, and the relationships made sense. Like, it made sense. Like, it didn't feel forced. And so I love that about this book, and just every aspect of it. The right amount of love stuff, the right amount of action, the right amount of just mystery to it. It really was just completely well done. And I'm so glad I got this book for Christmas, because I never would have even known about it had my younger sister, or I say younger sister, she's literally like 25 now. I need to stop calling her that. But she got me this book, and so glad she did. I'm hoping she'll go see the movie with me when it does come out, because I feel like that's a sister bonding moment right there, because she gave me this book and she introduced me to this amazing author, and now I'm going to have to get my hands on every book that she's ever written, because if it's as good as this one, she's got a fan for life. Um, but the only critique, and literally, this is like so, like, not even a big deal, but the only critique I could possibly say is that throughout the book, which she describes everything like so wonderfully and enough detail, but yet enough to let your mind wander a bit, which I love in books as well, is being able to have enough detail to picture it, but then be able to fill in the gaps where I want to. And I feel like you totally could in this. And I also love how she adds that little bit of like fashion in there, because each realm has a very specific kind of fashion that they incorporate. And I don't know, I love fashion, so I think it's interesting when you get a lot of different kind of descriptions of the dresses and things that your characters are wearing, because you can just really visualize it, and I love that. But where was I going with this? I like 100% just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, the only critique that I had was the way she would describe if someone was being mean. She would use the word meanly. And out of all the descriptive words that you could potentially use, meanly just feels a little weak. So, but that's literally like the only critique, was that she could have used better synonym for meanly, you know, manipulatively or viciously. That's one of my favorites to use. Of course, I'm not like a world famous author, so I literally should not say anything, because I truly did just immensely love this book. And I know I've said that like 1,200 times by now, but please give it a read. Please, please give it a read. This girl deserves all the fans she can get, because she she's a great writer. She is. She's a really good writer. And I really enjoyed reading her book. So that is my review. I could probably talk for several more minutes about her book, but I'm not going to because I've already said my piece, and you are missing out if you don't give it a go. So that is my review. Thank you, Miss Alex Astor, for your creative gift and sharing it with the world. You deserve every one of your books to be published. It's just, you're that good. So I will see you next time. As always, stay happy, stay healthy. Good things this year, my friends, and I will see you next time for a video.